Hey everybody, I'm the Bat Otter, and I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different today. Usually, I review the story, I go over I make some comments on the artwork here and there. I might point out little features in the comic books that I review, but I wanted to do something a little bit more in depth because I've been watching some YouTube videos about this show. It only went on for like 5 seasons. It was these guys, they made some heroin. There was a spin-off, I think it's like Go Call Paul, something like that. And I can't remember the name. You guys might not know. It's something about like being bad. There was something about bad in it. But the fact of the matter is, this YouTube video popped up about the portrayal of one of the characters by one of the actors in the show. And I was like, oh, it was this big old 20-minute video of how this actor brought this character so much more to life and all these little things. I'm like, oh, well, the title of that video, everything about that video, the way that it was structured, it was so thought-provoking and everything like that. And I think, well, this guy must know something that I don't. Because, I watch this show like everybody else. I see the way that people act and the way that the characters are portrayed. So I click on the video and I watch the whole thing. Or I listen to it, rather. And kind of chime in whenever he says to look. And what I noticed about it was he said, look at this scene here. And he showed a scene. And the guy was crying, or he was, holding somebody at gunpoint. And, like, he looked very emotional. And I thought, okay, so what's this guy going to tell me? What secrets is he going to let me in on? And what the guy says is, as you can see, he looks very emotional. I said, okay, I'm following you. You can see the vein popping out of his forehead. I said, yeah, I can see that. And then he moves on. And I'm oversimplifying for the sake of the video, but I'm like, wait a minute. Scene by scene, he goes over these things, and he's like, this is what the actor brought to the character. And I thought, well, yeah. I mean, anybody can see that. I'm watching it right in front of me. It's playing out before my eyes. I can see all those things. And that was the whole video. So it was kind of him pointing out what I figured was obvious. I was like, he didn't go into how the actor started crying or how he brought it out or how he portrayed the rage. He just showed this is what he did. I'm like, well, thanks. I guess Captain Obvious slept under a rock today. But what I've realized is a lot of these videos breaking down things, they actually just show you what, in my opinion, everybody already notices. So it's come to my attention that maybe people don't actually notice these things. And really, it was me worrying that I'd be stating the obvious and wasting you guys' time that I've not made these videos so far. So that's a little story that I got for you guys before this video. But I wanted to break down these 2 pages here specifically because I really like the way that they convey all these different ideas, all the while making the panels very satisfying to read. So as you know, manga is read from right to left. So from here to there, to there, to there, to here, to there, to there. And I think that in terms of what these 2 pages are trying to portray, the idea that they're trying to express, it could not have been done more perfectly than Miura did it here. And I'll break down the simple composition here in a second, but I just want to go through the entire panel layout with this. I know that Elsa Charretier, I believe that's her name, she does comic book panel breakdowns similar to what I'm about to do. So go check her out. She's really good, really informative, and man, that woman knows exactly, like, every single word, all the words that I don't know, she knows, and she can describe it. It's great. So be sure to check her out after you check me out here. So here, Guts just got done fighting with these demons in the forest, and the voices start haunting him. So the first thing that I noticed is, again, it's right to left. So you read it from top to bottom, right? That's how you read a panel. So here we have Guts standing here with his cloak screen toned out in the background, and he's forming this triangle shape, right? So from top to bottom, you're looking down at Guts. He has the voices kind of haunting him. And the idea here is that they're intrusive thoughts. They're voices that are haunting his mind, that are being told to him that he can't get out of his head. That's why he keeps on saying, shut up. Like almost like a schizophrenic, except in this case, he really is being haunted. So how do you portray intrusive thoughts in a comic book? How do you portray sound and the rhythm and the way that you're supposed to interpret the dialogue in a comic book without actually hearing it? Well, this is how. You're trying to portray intrusive voices. So what do intrusive voices do? They intrude. You can't escape them. So by laying the thought bubbles of the voices out in this very particular order, according to the panels here, you're reading it, here it is. So long as you have that brand, yes, the brand, wherever you are, you belong to us, you can't run your sadness, your anger, your pain. He says, shut up. So in the rhythm of the panel, it already interrupts it because it speaks before guts. You go back up here. How do you read the panel? Top to bottom. So you go here, there, wherever you are, you belong to us. The voices are quite literally following the way in which you're supposed to read the panel, along with the trees that are breaking the panels down into these sections that you kind of follow because you follow that snaking pattern throughout the panel, and they're being broken up by the branches. Ain't that something? And then finally the voices start to get bigger. So the thought bubbles start to take up more space. You get closer to Guts. His bubble takes up more space as well. You get down here and you get this real nice, you start to see their eyes peering through the branches. Like I said, the branches segment the panel so that way there's a certain rhythm. You don't necessarily feel it, but it all builds to even your fear. All of it belongs to us, and you get this downshot, upshot, I forget. I always get those confused. All the way up here, because you read this one down, you still hear the voices. He says, shut up, shoots his hand up with this forced perspective here of the trees going up. It's all going in the upwards direction because of the 1 point perspective here. You get the ka-chink, Puck's reaction, and from here, notice where he places the exclamation point. He places it right here at the very bottom of the page. So whenever your eye moves to this page here, at the very bottom, Guts is kind of whited out. He's much more white, and there's no tone on him, less than usual, less than here. The background is kind of grayscale. The cape forms a shape here that builds up to this giant explosion from his hand cannon. And you have the sound effects, the kaboom, all dropping here with the trees again at the top half of the panel. This panel being segmented again with the fire blaze that's going up into the sky, all to culminate right here with Guts' arm and his almost worried look on his face, that subtle expression that he's making that's a mix of fear and anger, all to form these beautiful 2 pages. So if we break that down simply, now these are simple drawings, don't try to take these drawings so literal. I did what to express the expressions and the ideas, to simplify it, because at the end of the day, it all is very simple. So again, if we go by the way that you're reading the manga, you start here, the cone brings you down to this speech bubble here, which is the voices. Guts has the smaller shut up here. You go back up here, and you follow the branches and the dark spots created by the branches. Sorry about that autofocus. Down to this bubble, this bubble. Here you have Guts' metal arm taking up a space in the composition with shut up again. You have the segmentation by the branches creating a rhythm. Now you think, how do you create a rhythm in pictures, right? Well, it's the same way that you break up the panels. You don't really, just a couple pages prior, you have these panels here that create that kind of scene transition, right, into this new setting that you're establishing. It's an establishing shot created by this segmented rhythm. You are forced to view it in a certain way, and because of that, it conveys a certain motion. So with the tree branches segmenting the panel here, you get extra segmentation within a segment. You see how interesting that kind of is? And then, of course, all of the lines point in that upward direction to him saying, shut up. You have the different tones here expressed in his little rectangle there. The movement by the hand, Puck's reaction that goes into this big spot here, the upwards explosion that draws your eye up and expands as you look up at it, again, creating motion, the split here, and then all that with the sound effects going down to Guts' arm. See that, guys? Ain't that something? I mean, I believe I did touch on it whenever I was originally reviewing it, but like I said, I wanted to go in depth. I wanted to see what you guys think. This is a new kind of video format that I want to be trying out because reviews are kind of boring and they hinge on getting more and more books, and that's difficult sometimes. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Tell me what you guys think of it. If you guys notice this, tell me to break down some other panels, maybe that you guys don't totally get, if this was a little bit too obvious for your taste. Other than that, hope you guys liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to be posting updates to my own short story that I'm going to be publishing digitally very, very soon. And aside from that, hope you guys have a good day.